Why, hello everyone. You might remember early last week, I did a video about symbols for the Godless Morality series in which I held up a handgun and pointed out that there was a distinct difference between the weapon itself and what it symbolized. Because the second produced all sorts of, since it's in the perceiver's head, produces all sorts of secondary emotional reactions that may or may not have anything to do with the object itself, the symbol itself. I'd like to throw out another symbol for you, the word feminism. Now this pisses me off. Not feminism itself, which cut down to its original meaning simply is wanting equal rights for men and women. No big deal. But you have everything from the Rush Limbaughs of the world who want to paint it as feminazis who hold abortion as a sacrament. Yes, this is a direct, it's a paraphrasing. Holding abortion as a sacrament and feminazis are, of course, direct from Rush Limbaugh and I forget, Bob Dole's old speechwriter who ghost wrote the book, which means that his book, The Way Things Ought to Be, was put together by two of the most prolific liars of the late 20th century. But outside of Bill Kristol and people like that. But you've got that view, which is basically really pisses me off because it's taking something, equal rights for men and women, and turning it into something which it isn't, because I have never seen anybody celebrating abortion as an act of abortion as something that is wonderful and good. No, that's not true. It doesn't exist. If it does, you're dealing with a lunatic. Now, either that or just someone who needs to get out more. I mean, that's just messed up. Okay. And take that a little further to anyone who just takes a grain of truth and twists it out of recognition, such as the men's rights activists who believe that, well, there's free male privilege and they have, they have the control and they dictate what goes on. And it's like, well, no. Because one, they tend not to look at women or notice women who do not fit in to the cultural stereotype of beauty. And two, they don't realize that this is a social reinforcing mechanism that rewards conformity. It doesn't reward women. It rewards some women who adhere to the stereotypes they're supposed to, the way men are rewarded or punished for adhering or not adhering to the expected social standards, the expected gender standards. But then you have people who simply abdicate their responsibility, their intellectual responsibility, and where they would not take from a Rush Limbaugh or from, like, the Family Research Council, they wouldn't take their definitions for words like evolution or truth or science or creation. They will take the words of feminism, the definition of the word feminism from them, which strikes me as a particularly stupid thing to do. But that's not who pisses me off the most. Not at all. Who pisses me off the most are people who take that label for themselves, take the label of feminist, and then don't act like they want to treat people equally. The people who go, well, we suffered more before, so you should suffer more now, in short. The people who say, well, we are right and you are wrong and therefore you are evil. And I'm oversimplifying a great deal. And I'm not going to name any names here because I am oversimplifying and because I have to go and I don't want to go into it. But all you have to do is watch for double standards. Watch for people who embrace them and who then say it's okay or it's justified when we do it in some form. I don't have to point out who I'm talking about. Most of you who are familiar with my channel and who are familiar with the general YouTube dramas going on already know who I'm talking about. And even if you aren't, I'm certain you're aware of someone in one of these groups who is in your daily life. And I really, really just... I personally would love to be a hedonist who pursued pleasure and joy and fun in whatever politically incorrect form I could find. But I can't. Because people like you, especially the first and fourth categories, are taking something which is a really neat idea. That all human beings are of inherent equal value. That nobody is born with a special halo or something that gives them, greater value over someone who doesn't have that. And shitting all over it. And y'all can fuck off as far as I'm concerned. And maybe I will name names at a future date if I decide to actually sit through some of these goddamn stupid videos and pick some real examples. But for right now, just go to hell. I'm going to get on with my life. Thank you for your time and attention.